Been such a popular water cooler story. I've had these sort of anecdotal conversations with a number of people over the last couple of months as well. But this really stems from this 1999 manga, Japanese manga or Japanese comic book. It was called The Future I Saw. You can see the cover there on your screen. And it was a book that came and then it went with very little fanfare. It kind of flew under the radar. People started picking it up though after the 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan, because the book had noted that there would be some sort of a great disaster in March 2011. Then there was a 2021 reprint of the book with some additional content added on. And then in recent months, we've seen basically the fact that this book also references that there will be a disaster in July of this year going completely viral, whether that's on Xiaohongshu, on TikTok. YouTubers have been picking it up as well. And Mon will talk about this, but we've seen an impact in terms of those travel numbers. We've seen an impact as well in terms of some flight cancellations from certain jurisdictions as well. But I think what has also given it legs is that since August of last year, Japanese authorities have also been warning that there would be a megaquake happening in the next 30 years with catastrophic consequences. And this is to happen around the Nankai Trough, which is the southern side of the country. And we do have a map we can show our viewers as well, with authorities warning that in the worst case scenario, we are talking about up to 300,000 deaths and tsunami waves of 20 to 30 meters as well. And then, of course, this week we saw that there was an earthquake, a very serious earthquake that happened off the coast of Russia as well, that has got people saying on social media, linking that earthquake as well to the manga, which of course is a fiction, right? It's just a so-called prophecy here. The author herself has in previous interviews said, you know, that this is just my book. Please don't take it as a prediction. Exactly. But Mon, talk us through what has been the travel impact, because Japan's economy has been tepid, domestic demand has been weak, and tourism has been a key services export.
Yeah, it scared some people away, right?
Yes. So this story, it's sort of easy to dismiss it on its face, to be because it's, you know, more fiction or definitely speculation, but really it's the intersection of social media and climate change, and it's having real world impact in terms of people are making decisions, which of course then has a money implication. So we can see nowhere more than people making decisions to skip trips to Japan in June. Of course, this was supposed to happen in July. We don't even have those numbers yet. But in June, coming out of Hong Kong. Now, we know the social media was very strong there. A drop in visitors, some 33%. That's after just month-on-month increases. So to have a drop, very surprising. Also saw negative territory for arrivals for Philippines and Thailand. These are numbers compared June of this year to June of last year. Again, but you can see from Jan to May, a steady increase until June. Now, we saw other countries have a slowdown in growth. You can see for China, you say, well, look, June arrivals still up 20%. That's a lot. However, it's rather small compared to what we saw from Jan to May, where arrivals were increasing at a rate of about 63%. We also saw a slowdown in growth coming out of Taiwan and South Korea, too. What makes these numbers really stand out, though, is when you compare this to the fact that in a lot of Western countries and other places around the world, you continue to see double-digit growth in terms of arrivals to Japan. So this really is a phenomenon we're seeing in Asia itself, where the social media went viral, where people, as we have a story that we published on CNBC.com today, talked to some experts and said, you know, you do have a more of a collectivist mentality in Asia. So even if you're prone to doubt this prediction could come true, you do have the effect of community and social peers who might say, hey, you know, why risk it? Yeah. In fact, I actually spoke to someone who said her mother said, oh, you should skip the trip in July, go later. You know, you never know these days.
Yeah, so there's filial piety, there's herd instinct, herd mentality, but Lin, also superstition, because the Hong Kong numbers really stand out.
Absolutely. And the thing that makes this important to Japan is the fact that these are the biggest source markets for Japan. Japan is going to be okay. Let's just put it into perspective. Arrivals still continued to outpace, even in June, from June of last year. We know Japan was hot last year, so Japan will be just fine. But we have seen arrivals coming in at a rate of about 25% on top this year of last year. So it is a dip. And that is going to hurt, particularly, Lynn, you spoke to a travel agent out of Hong Kong. If your business is based on Hong Kong travelers, that's going to have a toll. But if you are, and you did go to Japan, particularly in July, you probably experienced fewer people at some of those temples in Kyoto.
Well, Marty, you've just gone to Japan, haven't you? So what was that like? Did you notice that there were less people on the streets?
It didn't feel as crowded and packed, but partly, you know, we talked about this earlier, right? It could be just simply the weather. It's summer in Japan. It's sweltering. Right, it was like 32 degrees, and humidity is, saturation is like at 100%. So it's not comfortable being outside, or to visit for that matter. Right, I mean, it's not the best time of year to be in Japan.
And look, I spoke to a travel agent as well in Hong Kong, specializing as well in Japan travel, and he said that they are experiencing for July, which has just come and gone, and also for August, a dip in terms of orders of, somewhere around 60 to 70%. It was looking at close to 80% as well, but they have been heavily discounting as well, providing earthquake insurance and so forth. That has brought some customers back, but certainly not in the order that we've seen in previous years.
Yeah, okay, great story, guys. Thank you.